At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it. At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a publisher.
Hello folks, I greet you. It's another Thursday, and of course, welcome to another program in the series, Journalist Hangout. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now today on the program, Vice President Shetima, Managing Director of the NEDC, Petition Inspector General of Police over alleged defamation by whistleblowers. Federal government warns of mass sacking as organized labor disowns agreement over minimum wage. And later on, we'll share this with you. Chief of Defense Staff accuses Finland of shielding Simon Ekpa, calls for his arrest. I'm hanging out with the inelastic Ibinabo Dixon. Ibinabo, I greet you.
Good evening, Citizen. Good evening, everyone.
Okay. We are joined also by the unputdownable Emeka Madunagu. Emeka, I greet you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Citizen. Good evening, viewers.
So the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, then, let's go right away. Vice President Kashim Shetima and the Managing Director of the Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, Mohammed Goni Alkali, are two unhappy Nigerians as we speak. As bona fide sons of the Northeast, the two sons have petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetogun, over alleged false accusation leveled against them by some whistleblowers. The petitioners are rumored to have mismanaged 13 billion naira. We expect something to be done in the coming days. According to the American businessman Warren Buffett, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you will do things differently. Right.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's quite long.
Yeah, to finish a reputation
5
built
minutes
over
is
time.
too long.
Oh, yeah.
A minute is enough. Okay, so this is a very serious matter, and these whistleblowers, I hope that they have enough facts on ground to support the allegation, because we are talking about the Mr. Two citizen of Nigeria, the Vice President, and of course the MD of NEDC, which is the Northeast Development Commission. I mean, this is an agency that's saddled with a lot of responsibility. You know, we all recall that Northeast, I mean, a few years ago, was really under siege, so to say, in the hands of the Boko Haram insurgents, and so many people were displaced, so many people were killed. We can't forget about the abducted and eventually rescued Chibok girls. We still have some of them still in captivity. And all of that, even the Dapchi girls, they are from the Northeast. So this particular commission or agency, so to say, has been saddled with this responsibility of implementing human capital development. They are supposed to, you know, rebuild the destroyed communities. They're supposed to resettle, integrate, and do a lot of things with these people. Even, I mean, we are looking at, when we say Northeast, we're talking about all the states in the Northeast. And then this allegation. So it is important that it's not enough, you know, petitioning. Are you sure that these people do not have enough evidence before they came out? Because if they do not, then they should be in trouble. Nigeria is not a joke. Nigeria is not a seat of comedy or farce. We are serious people. So you come out and lay an allegation against Mr. Vice President, the second most important person in Nigeria. It's not to be taken lightly. So I hope that they have all evidence intact. Otherwise, they are in trouble.
Emeka, defamation is a criminal act.
But there's nothing like criminal defamation. That's sedition, and it's not in our laws.
Oh, boy. that must be coming from somewhere else. Did I see that?
The lawyer wrote there. He said criminal defamation and malicious libel. Yes, there's malicious libel.
Yes.
But there's no criminal defamation. But you trust Nigerian lawyers. They will take things beyond their ordinary meaning. I think, with due respect to him, I think the Vice President should actually allow the EFCC to investigate this matter. Because you see, one of the reasons why citizens should hold their leaders accountable is that so that the trust in these leaders can become stronger.
That's it.
When allegations are made against, a top functionary of government, and instead of asking police, go and arrest whistleblowers. I have been an advocate for an act, a whistleblowing act.
Yeah,
because
I was going to ask you,
yes,
when the whistleblowing thing came into being, what was the reaction?
I loved it. I was very happy about it, but I felt you cannot make whistleblowing effective without adequate legislation. There must be a whistleblowing act. There must be rewards for whistleblowers who come with facts. And they must be protected. Because you see, for the lawyer writing that is meant to tarnish the image of the Vice President and his family, how does his family come into this? To provoke his supporters, how? You have an issue right now in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Permanent Secretary was accused of sexual harassment. And then what happened? The minister, wrote to the head of service. The Permanent Secretary has been, suspended and asked to step aside for investigation. And that's how it should be. Now, I'm not saying, okay, that the Vice President has to step aside now because it's covered by immunity, But immunity from criminal and civil prosecution. Yes, but you see, you have to allow, you are talking of the Vice President and an agency of government. So the Vice President should not be seen to be protecting an MDA. Because if you set a precedent, tomorrow, somebody can come and hide. Okay, no, I'm being investigated because so-and-so person is from my area. And then you hide under the person. One lawyer writes to the Inspector General of Police to investigate the whistleblowers. I think rather, whistleblowers should be commended, they should be protected, and then the EFCC should investigate this matter. Then if they are found...
besides, there are some things, Ibn Abo hear this too, some things, they go without saying. The IGP should know when to move against somebody, against a suspected fellow.
Yes, you don't instigate the IG. You see, Nigerian lawyers need to help this country, honestly speaking. Because some cases, some cases that actually go before, that are the petitions that are sent to the Inspector General of Police, to the DSS, to the EFCC, even to the military, are actually the handiwork of lawyers.
All right.
And you've heard judges actually complain that, why, you're a lawyer, why should you, even some senior lawyers, why would you bring such a thing, knowing that you're just wasting the time of the court? So instead of asking the IG, rather, either the Special Fraud Unit of the Nigeria Police or the EFCC should be allowed, or the ICPC should be allowed to investigate this matter. So if those whistleblowers are found to have concocted the information they put in the public domain, then they can be prosecuted. But you see, all of this will just be playing to the gallery. If there is no whistleblowing act, there must be, because corruption has severely damaged this country.
All right.
We need whistleblowing act that will encourage Nigerians to come out boldly and say, look, this and this and this and this needs to be investigated.
Ibn Abo, hear this by way of digression. Let me rub this in. I hope it is relevant. You remember the Oputa panel? It was supposed to be something akin to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa. But that panel was not instituted by, it was not backed by any law.
Which is unfortunate, and we are still doing this.
So sometimes you are wondering if these things are deliberate.
Are they not?
I don't know.
I think they are, because, if I remember that the issue of whistleblower was so talked about extensively at that. So if, as of this time, we are yet to have...
I personally thought it was like a Daniel come to judgment.
Yes.
Especially in the fight against corruption.
So when, as we speak, we don't have any acts, supporting it, and there's no particular protection for whistleblowers, then we're not ready to sanitize this country.
Okay. All right, then. Let's go to our next story. The debate over local government autonomy may not be a winnable one, but when one power is persuaded on the subject, then all hope is not lost. Kwara State Governor, you understand, Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak, has thrown his weight behind local government autonomy. According to him, it will reduce the burden on states. So who again is on the yes side, Emeka?
Well, the matter is before the Supreme Court, so I don't want to dabble into the merits of the case.
Okay.
But just talking generally, about local government administration. I know successive governments, some have tried to deal with the issue of local government. Then we now got the 1999 Constitution. Okay, under Babangida was interested in making local governments, autonomous and vibrant. But we now got the 1999 Constitution, and it became ambiguous. First of all, we have the Federation of Nigeria. Then you have the 36 states as federating units, subnationals. You now went to Section 7 of the Constitution and said that local governments, yes, they shall be there, they shall do this and that. But you put a lacuna there, that they shall be under the states. So,
is this deliberate?
Well,
or you think?
Well, I think the framers of that constitution did not envisage that there might be issues, because they had enough information to guide them going from the back, coming from
local governments were autonomous in this country.
Under the military. The issue is this. I believe that it's more of a constitutional issue than a judicial issue. But let's see what is today's Supreme Court has
somebody had told you, and I hope you remember, our problem is not constitutional, but attitudinal.
No, yes, the attitude towards the Constitution. Because if you like, you can review the Constitution 1,000 times every year. But it's human beings that are still going to implement it. And it's as simple as the Constitution guarantees, what the government should do and what the citizens themselves should do. So if the citizens are expecting the government to do ABC, the citizens themselves should also be ready to, to also carry out their own responsibilities. And in the issue of local government, basically, we need a vibrant system at the local government.
All right.
Because you see, almost every problem in Nigeria is blamed on the federal government. Food prices are high. It's President Tinubu. People cannot get money to marry. It's President Tinubu. People cannot get money to pay their children's school fees. It's President Tinubu. But if you look at it in reality, all politics is local. Problems are local. Yes. You start from your immediate constituency, which is the home. Yeah. And where is the home? It's in the local government. So if the local governments are made vibrant, whether they are going to be autonomous or whether they are going to be under the states, but the point is that, for instance, in agriculture, if food prices are high, it should be collected at the local government, because you don't have federal farmers. You have a federal minister of agriculture, but there's nobody who will come out and say, I'm a federal farmer. I'm farming on federal government farm. Everything is local. So it is to the extent that I believe that, you see, I don't know, but I hope this matter will be settled out of court.
Once and for all time.
No, not just the Supreme, but out of court.
Yeah.
And which is that, why? Okay, fine, states. If you agree that states should control, but the state governors themselves, if they were not handling local government funds in such a way that the poverty in Nigeria has got so bad. Let me tell you, it wouldn't matter whether it's states or they are controlled governments or they are autonomous. It's all about the people are hungry. And development must get to the grassroots through the local government.
Okay. Before we came on air, we broached the subject, Emeka and I. And I said, prices of foodstuff going up can be arrested at the local government level.
Definitely. We are the farmers. We have 36 states in Nigeria, and the seventh one, maybe, the federal capital city. And under the state, we have local governments. Even under the local government, we have the wards, where we have the councillors. So what happened to everybody?
So the local government chairman is the first citizen of the
local
local government.
And he has his cabinet. Made up of councillors. So what happened to everybody? This is why the issues of Nigeria seem as though it is not, we cannot solve our problems.
So our problems are man-made, and the solution is also here.
The solution is here, but do we have the intention to solve this problem? Because like Emeka said, if the governors are working assiduously and they have taken development to the grassroots, nobody, who cares whether there's a local government chairman or whatever? The bottom line is, I'm fine. So when people are not fine, then they begin to look at the leaders. Now, recently, we went to the market, a particular market for food items, especially tomatoes and all of that. A basket that ordinarily you would have paid maybe maximum 20,000 naira. Went as high as 150,000 naira. Oh. So where do you get the money to fill in that gap? So all of these things, and then how many people are into farming again? We're talking about security. Will Mr. President from the center begin to travel down, take care of security in the grassroots?
That is from Abuja to, say, Bakassi.
You understand?
Or to my local...
Exactly. So we have to make sure that every tier of government functions to the world level.
So you're on the same page with Governor Abdul Razak of Kwara?
Let it work. Like Emeka said, the case is where it is.
Yeah.
So we don't want to dabble into that. We don't want to...
Otherwise, basic question would be, who is against local government autonomy?
Well, the thing is that it's the Constitution. Because the Constitution has brought them into existence, that there shall be local government.
Yeah, the Governor Abdul Razak says it will reduce burden on states. I agree with you.
Yes, he's speaking like a politician. But you should look at that provision of the Constitution. What does it say? It says it shall be under the state. It doesn't matter whether they are autonomous or whether local governments are actually under the federal government. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the people feel the presence of government at the local level. That is why, you see, President Muhammad Buhari tried through executive orders, but the governor did not allow it. Then he came again through constitutional amendment. What do we need? It's very simple. They are hiding behind the fact that,
ask, do we really know what we want?
We know.
Or what we need?
We know, but you see, the attraction of free money, easy money is a major problem. The point is this. Why did the federal government go to the Supreme Court? That local governments are getting, are being allocated such huge sums of money. But everybody, if the president travels to anywhere, they'll tell you, they're being power. But there's a local government here now. Look at the allocations. What is going on? Anybody will ask that, wait a minute, what is going on? So there is now time for accountability. And what the argument that, the argument is, the subsidiary argument is that local governments are not federating units. They are not subnationals. Fine, the Constitution puts them under states.
Maybe that's why many states have not held local government elections.
They don't care. They don't care. Because why? Or just that line that the local government shall be under the states has just made the governors just to relax. But you see, where they get it wrong is that all politics is local. Like the president was saying when some Arewa leaders visited him. He said, when we need votes, we go to the local areas. We'll take boats, take canoes, go to remote areas. But when we win elections, everybody troops to Abuja. These are feeding bottle democracy. I think it is part of why we're talking of fiscal federalism, restructuring, such that, you see, this idea of every month go and collect a check and then come back and do what you like with it. We need to really look at that fiscal federalism so that we can work out, not just at the wards. We should also have the CDCs. The CDCs should also be community development councils. Yes. The CDAs, community development associations, should also be a part of the running of this, so that, because when you go to local areas, there is no light. Health centers in all those local areas are in a mess.
But, remember, I hope I won't be too old for both of you. Even about, I remember in years of yore, Nigeria of yore, there was indeed a beautiful country. There was.
It was very beautiful.
At the local government, Emeka, you remember, we had dispensaries.
Yeah, but there was also power supply. But today, where
primary health problems are taken care of.
To even get milk, I was reading a report, to even get milk, for people to afford milk for their sick relatives in those health centers in rural areas is difficult.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the mortality rate.
And there's something we are missing. For me, I feel that, like you said, accountability is very important. Because if you go to some local government areas, you begin to ask yourself, okay, or if you go to a local government council, you see the level of, improvement, and you go to some other ones, they are the way they were 10, 20 years ago. And you ask yourself, so what are you doing? What is your governor doing differently than this other governor? Because at the local government level, you are the one that would go to the marketplaces and collect trading license fees. You collect motor park dues, motor park, all those taxes.
Shop extension.
Yes.
They even collect, after collecting money for shops, they collect shop extension.
Everything.
You will, on one property, the state government will collect land use charge, and the local government will still come and collect tenement rate.
Yes.
But nothing by way of
that. And you've forgotten something like radio licenses.
All of this,
it's all local.
The federal government, how many taxes does the federal government collect? Maybe about 7 or so. How many does the states collect? But the local government have the highest number of taxes and levies. Why? To make sure that development really touches the grassroots. Well, who cares about IGR? Who cares? As long as there's money coming from Abuja at the end of the month, you share it, pay salaries, pockets.
And you hear, as Ibn Abba was going to say,
citizen.
It is on payday, on payday, a typical payday, that you see a complement of staff at the local government level.
Yeah, I went to one local government somewhere, outside Lagos. I was so angry. I was shouting at them. I said, is it that you people cannot afford to hire a laborer to clean your premises?
Thank you.
It's so bullshit. Local government secretariat, how much will it cost you to pay a laborer to clean up this place, or to even put a gardener on your payroll to keep the secretariat clean? Because when somebody comes into a secretariat, it begins from the gate. It looks at the gatehouse, looks at the personnel, looks at the ambience and all that. But you get into the offices, you see broken tables, broken chairs, and all of these things. How do you expect effective administration at local government level? Then the governors will put their cronies. Some people who are not even educated, who don't even know their left from their right, in charge of local government, that should even be the most important tier of government, because that is where the people know. So I hope that all these efforts being made, whether local government, autonomy, or whatever, will bring better accountability to the local government level.
And development.
Development, yes.
As I always say, our business here, gentlemen, is to mold opinion and allow decision makers to take advantage. As he said earlier on, Ibn Abu, we expect the apex court to do justice. Over the matter.
They should.
And our politicians will implement the decisions reached.
No, if it is law, they will.
There are achievements
around it.
There are just, yes, Nigerian politicians are ingenious. They will find a way around it. But the thing is, they should know. If we do the right things, our country will be better. If we fail to do the right things, we will just continue to wallow in poverty.
All right. I hear we must leave it there. So let the debate continue wherever it might be. Autonomy for local government across the country. Those of you who are saying yes, stay on this side. No on the other side. We'll take a break now. We'll go on a commercial break. We should be back shortly. Please stay with us.
Hi, this is Dr. Abiola Salami, the world-class performance strategist and member, Forbes Coaching Council. I am extending an exclusive invitation to all senior leaders in public and private sector organizations across the globe to join me and Harvard University's Professor Dana Bourne, President Joe Biden's Commissioner Ray Jefferson, the seasoned board chair Dr. Musu Bello Olusoga at Dr. Abiola Salami International Leadership Bootcamp 2.0, holding from 23rd to 29th June 2024 in Mombasa, Kenya. The bootcamp is designed not only to build leadership skills, but also to promote overall well-being through structured relaxation practices with energizing wellness routines and group social events to foster camaraderie and relaxation in the serenity of Mombasa. We had a great time at the last edition in Nairobi with leaders gaining insights for reshaping their organizations, and we will have a greater time in Mombasa co-creating an amazing leadership experience together. In case you can't attend the Mombasa edition this June, you can join us at Marrakesh, Morocco for the 3rd edition in October 2024. For more information, visit www.abiolachamp.com. Till I see you at the bootcamp, keep rocking your world like a champion.
All right, folks, welcome back. Our next story. You know, the tug of war involving the federal government and organized labor over a new national minimum wage has come to a head, if you understand. The federal government has warned of mass retrenchment as labor disowns a supposed agreement on the matter. The government has talked about the broader economic implications of labor's push for an unrealistic higher national minimum wage. Is anybody about to blink first, Ibinabo?
I had to take a deep breath because, you see, I'm looking at two elephants fighting, and who suffers? The grass.
Even when they are not fighting, the same grass.
So imagine when they are now fighting. Complete demolition. So let's be realistic at this point. We live in a country where we are yet struggling with the economy. I just narrated my experience at the local market. That an item that was bought for 20,000 naira within 2 weeks, the price just went up.
And I hope this is not too crude for national television. I hear we use a little something else to prepare stew. Have you heard it too?
I have.
You will hear about cucumber stew. I never heard of that. Only hearing about cucumber stew.
So
I'm trying to
wrap my head around. You're hearing about
the economy is not smiling, so people are looking for ways to augment things. Yeah. Now, my problem I don't have any problem with minimum wage increment or whatever. But the reality on ground is, in Nigeria, we have those in the federal government sector, working for federal government, working for state, in organized...
So it must be stated here now, we're talking about two different sets of workers. Okay, three. Federal workers, state workers,
local government
and
workers.
Local
And then private sector.
Private sector.
For four. And then the informal sector.
Informal sector.
That's neither organized nor unorganized.
So now,
if organized labor is insisting on 250,000 naira, that is the least. It means
minimum. That's level 1, step 1.
So when you reach level 8,
so what's going to happen? So you see what we fail to realize is, I would have loved it if, while they're agitating for an increment in the minimum wage, in tandem, they should hold the government responsible for the state of the economy, for the general good of Nigerians. Because if eventually, even if eventually they agreed to 100,000, what do you think is going to happen? The market prices of food items, prices of, cost of goods and services, everything will just hit the sky. You think that if, assuming I'm an employer of labor, I'm a manufacturer, and I have to jump from 30,000 naira to, let's say, 100,000 naira.
Which you may not even be paying, or 30,000,
exactly.
Which you may not be paying.
Whatever I'm doing will be factored into production, cost of production. And eventually, everything will come back to us. So at the end of the day, you realize that the essence of the increment has been defeated. So the government, I'm even facing the government, that what are you even doing for everybody, those who are employed, those who are not employed, every Nigerian, everyone living in this country, because we all eat. So how do we do it? How do we cope? By the time you have had agreement with the labor, then what happens to the rest of the people? How do we feed? Because it will eventually affect the cost of items in the market. Everything will just hit the roof, and then how do we cope?
Emeka, so when state governors insist they cannot pay over a given figure, and you recall that, yes, last year, federal government removed subsidy on premium motor spirit, PMS, petrol, but states earned more money. So who is saying what?
You see, for me, I think the debate should go beyond just workers earning higher wages. Because at the end of the day, there will be demand pull inflation. There is more money. And so more people want a particular product or some products. There is a cost push. So an increase in wages will definitely spike inflation. There's no doubt about that. So I think labor...
Inflation on all fronts, almost...
Of course, it's automatic. It's not about... it's automatic because the lifestyle will change. But the sad thing is that even at 100,000, how much can buy a bag of rice today? Or a bag of beans? Or a bag of gari? Or a basket of tomatoes? So even if you pay that 60,000, you can't buy a bag of gari. You can't buy a bag of rice. He can't do anything. Yes, can he pay rent? Can he pay school fees? Many Nigerians send their children to private schools. So what I think...
By choice.
Of course. Although I know there are some states that have actually done a lot in terms of public education. But that's a topic for another day. But what I think government and organized labor should have done is sit down. Look at the triggers of inflation in the country. Things like transport, food prices, rent, and then find ways of mitigating these problems. If, like government was talking about these CNG buses, for instance, if government has said, okay, we will work out a policy where there will be so many CNG buses out there on the roads to ensure that people really don't have to use cars, use their cars. And then you can now move the money to public transportation. If there's an efficient public transportation system in the country, that will bring down nothing. Then food. What we know, insecurity is one of the problems. It is one of the things triggering inflation, high food prices. Government should come all out and deal with whatever is causing the insecurity.
I'm sure you've heard this, that at the different checkpoints we have across the country, security people extort.
Of course.
And that by extension, affects the price of those foodstuffs.
That is it. So if you deal with it, because our governments have been negligent. They saw food inflation rising, and people were sounding the alarm. Don't allow food inflation to rise to a point where it will be difficult to tame. Now it's over 40%. What are you going to do now? If you say, okay, throw open the borders, which a lot of people are talking about, throw open the borders and bring in food, there will be more demand on Forex. It will trigger another crisis in another area. So what we need to do is that, and another thing is that people are actually farming and producing.
Sorry, let me sound a little off here.
Yes.
Do we need to open the borders, Ibinabo, to go back into producing palm oil, which we import?
For me, if we have a government that is very deliberate about taking care of these 5 major issues, food, shelter, security, health and education, we will be fine.
Oh, yeah.
The land is green.
55 million
if you forget a piece of yam somewhere,
land,
it will begin to germinate. That is how good our land is.
55 million hectares of arable land in Nigeria. Look at what Madam just said. That you put yam seedling. Now even yam seedlings have gone up. Yam seedlings that used to be 200, 300 have gone up to 600, 700, 800. And then
are they imported?
No.
I'm sorry.
They are local seedlings. Even cocoyam. I don't even know when in my life at what point in my life I ate cocoyam. But now it has become a part of the family and it's even expensive. People had to run to cocoyam, but it became expensive. So the thing is that, you see, beyond just putting money in the hands of people, we must deal with the triggers of inflation, those things that are triggering inflation. And then again, the people, somebody just said that there are Nigerians who have dollar vaults in their homes. I don't know how true that is, but the security agencies must find and bust such vaults. Because when they, pull all these things out of the system, it sends the exchange rate up. So we must deal with these things. Then our agriculture must become more mechanized.
Okay.
Get more people into agriculture such that, you see, if food is available, if we can bring down food inflation from over 40%, bring it down, even if it is 30 or 32%, there will be a marked difference in food prices.
It depends on who measures that.
Yeah, but well, the NBS does that, National Bureau of Statistics, and it's worrisome. The last time when we had the highest inflation rate in Nigeria was in 1994, when Nigeria was under sanctions, 76%. So we should not make any mistake of going as far as that.
All right. I must underscore that that phrase. The federal government has warned of mass retrenchment if it must stick by the figure.
Because
250,000.
if you are going to pay 250,000, then you begin to look at the number of.
So who goes, who stays?
So it's like giving we have put the card on the table, make your choice. We take 250, then we relieve some people of their jobs, which is not fair. I think there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance, otherwise it will spiral into something else. There has to be a balance. And should I say I'm appealing to the labor leaders' conscience that you should realize that as much as I'm not I totally support, every worker deserves his wage. Yeah. However, let's be reasonable. But unfortunately, even our leaders have not led by example.
Yeah, lifestyle.
When you continue to tell the people that there is no money in this country and measuring your lifestyle, there's nothing pointing to that. Sleeping allowance, waking allowance, smiling, every form of allowances all over the place. So this is enough to provoke the NLC to want to say that, okay, we can't go less than 250. So our leaders...
and 250 to the gate man.
Yes.
The level 1 officer. The level 2 officer must earn more than that.
No, there's a way government does these things.
Okay.
By the time they compute all those things, it may not be as high as that, because don't forget, the workers will pay taxes. They'll pay on basic, tax on basic, on housing, and on transport. And then when they make purchases, they will pay VAT and some other things. So it's not as if, you know, I feel the cash element is where I have my worry. That, okay, if you say, all right, you cannot pay 250,000, you say, okay, 100,000. There is a way that government can work out the cash element and then spread other elements across maybe allowances or certain things that even possibly credit, guarantee for credit. That, okay, you can purchase certain things and government will now government has a credit agency is trying to set up. And it's okay, out of the credit agency, okay, we're going to remove, you can remove maybe XYZ, 30% of your salary, you know, as credit guarantee, that you can maybe get one thing or the other, pay school fees, pay rent and all of that. And government, so that when you even talk about 60,000, if the market women are expecting that government will just say, the workers will have 60,000. No, and they don't see the 60,000. Of course, nobody will tell them to behave themselves.
All right, Emeka, I hear we must go to our last story. Not the least, anyway. You know, Simon Njoku Ekpa is a Finnish politician and former Nigerian athlete. As the self-acclaimed leader of the Biafran government in exile, is in the eye of the storm as we speak. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has accused the Finnish government and the European Union of shielding the self-acclaimed Prime Minister of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. The Personable General has called for the arrest and extradition of Simon Ekpa to the country. The disquiet in southeast Nigeria is believed to be provoked by the Finland-based Enfant Terrible. Right, Emeka?
Well,
so for once we are zeroing in on Simon Ekpa.
But this is not the first time. This is not the first time Chief of Defense has spoken like that. This is not the first time that the high-ranking official of the Nigerian government has spoken like that. We have to look at the fact that Simon Ekpa is a citizen of Finland. So that, you know, serves as a kind of a hindrance to saying to his extradition. Yes, but the Chief of Defense has said something interesting, that if it was the other way around and Simon Ekpa was in Nigeria, would the government of Finland and the European Union allow such to, you know, to exist? Well, it's about balance of interests, balance of strategic interests. You know, that is why in pursuing our foreign policy, we must do it in such a way that we command respect. We continue to command respect in the Committee of Nations. Otherwise, you know, you will even see, look at small nations, the way they treat Nigerians. Nations that Nigeria used to send aid to, even pay salaries of their workers and do things for, even send soldiers to go and fight wars or to go and put down coups. Look at how they treat Nigerians. No respect for Nigerians anywhere around the world anymore. So many Nigerians in prisons around the world.
When I said earlier on, quoting Warren Buffett,
yes,
a reputation built over 20 years can be lost in 5 minutes.
Yes. So
she was wondering if it is 1 minute.
It may just be even a few seconds. So now government has to look at ways of, yes, sustaining pressure on Finland and on the European Union to help in dealing with these things. Yes, you're talking about human rights. You respect human rights, no doubt about that. But you see, your own rights stop where the right to swing your arm stops where the other man's nose begins. So we must look at it in such a way. There must be a robust engagement on this issue so that we state it clearly that Nigeria is not happy and comfortable with the activities of this individual. It should not just be, You know, the chief of defense staff appearing on channels, you know, on a TV channel and saying these things. And then after that, everybody goes back to the daily run. The Minister of Foreign Affairs must make it a priority, take it up, and take it up robustly, so that there should be a robust engagement with these people, so to tell them that these things are not acceptable. And then we make sure that it is, you know, it is sustained, it is consistent, and of course, you can achieve a lot with it. Then again, in terms of technology, this fellow is using technology, you know, in spreading his messages. So why can't you use counter technology?
Okay.
Can't you use technology also to counter him? Yes, you cannot just sit helplessly. You know, there must be certain things you can, which of course, I praise the military, what they are doing. They're really trying here and there. The security services are trying, but there must also be countermeasures you can take using technology to make sure you cut funding. If there is funding from wherever place to wherever place, then using technology to cut off communications, in terms of communications.
But Emeka, are you not disturbed that a Simon Ekpa would want to sweep the rug under the feet of Nnamdi Kanu?
Of course, you know, when there is nature abhors a vacuum. The repatriation of Nnamdi Kanu, you know, and the arrest, you know, opened the door to all kinds of people. You know, now franchise holders, you know, calling themselves all kinds of names and taking advantage of this situation. But Nnamdi Kanu himself said, yes, I'm not happy about the security situation in the Southeast. Release me, and I will assist you in quelling the security situation. Yeah. That's why I've called for a political solution to his matter, so that you can release him and then let him work with government to deal with this security situation. Now, when the environment is secure, we can hold conversations around issues, you know, issues of, you know, of whatever, you know, whatever areas. We can hold conversations around those issues, and we will definitely get to a point of agreement. But keeping him there and saying that you are fighting someone else, no, you are burning two ends of the candle. It can't work.
Okay, Ibn Abo, you can't ignore Simon Ekpa in the equation.
There are many ways to go around this. We have to be realistic. Do we have any form of extradition treaty with Finland? You don't ask for what you don't.
Not there.
I mean, do you have any kind of treaty in that regards? Now, let me leave that. I'm looking at the whole of the southeastern region. We have about 5 states. We have Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states. These governors should come together. Because let's assume that you are even an independent state. You are a sovereign nation, and you are having these issues. How do you solve it?
All right, Ibn Abo, but you think that extraditing Simon Ekpa, he will go some way of dousing tension?
I'm not too sure about that. What happened when Nnamdi Kanu was brought to Nigeria? Was there any form of abatement to the activities of the IPOB? So that is not the solution. The solution, we should start from within. Let the governors come around. They are your people. What can you do? Where are they? Are they dropping from the sky? We should look for solution within ourselves. Yes, given Mr. President is the chief of commander-in-chief of the armed forces and all of that. But if you have come up with a solution, then you can now discuss with the president and even call on other governors to work hand in hand, because these states are bounded by other states. So you work hand in hand, and then when you work like that, when you are beginning to see some positive, responses or results, then you can begin to look at other things to be done. But for now, you can't just be sitting we are like sitting ducks, and anyone can just throw anything at us. It is not right. We have to take the bull by the horn. Bringing Finland, sending Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria cannot solve the problem. Somebody else will come up.
Simple, from another country.
Yes. So it's not a solution, please. It's not.
So the whole thing sounds like business to you, a franchise.
Well, didn't we see when there was agitation in Niger Delta? The names you were hearing then, did anybody ever come out to tell you, I am so person, I'm sorry? You know, it's, you see, when you allow situations to degenerate, even you may even find out that you may even have rogue elements in the security services who will be aiding people fighting against the state. It happens.
AKA fifth columnist.
Yes, it happens. Then you have people for different reasons, who are just doing things, engaging in criminal activities, and then everything is tagged around one name. The issue for me is this. Get Nnamdi Kanu released. Find a political solution to his situation, and then work with him. And governors, religious leaders, traditional rulers, political leaders, work with them to find a solution. And one other problem is that there are a number of villages that are deserted in the southeast. I traveled through some recently. I told you I ran into unknown gunmen at a point. So, deserted, completely deserted. And these people have run to different areas, displaced from their natural areas of residence. How do you deal with those ones? So we must take deliberate measures to solve the insecurity situation. Everything must not be done with force.
To you, what's on the front burner would be a political solution to the whole.
Yes, to Nnamdi Kanu's issue. Find a political solution, and then.
So you watch if people like Simon Ekpa will still be relevant.
Well, how would they be? Who would they be talking to? When the arrowhead is out of detention and he has said it openly that he is willing to, put in effort to resolve the security situation. Why not give him a chance? Find a way around it. You see, it is when government doesn't want to act that they start making excuses. No, there can't be a political solution, there can't be this. But you've had cases where you found a political solution. You've had cases where government discontinued prosecution. So the point is that don't pretend as if your hands are tied. You cannot find solutions because we are losing security personnel.
Sometimes when hands are tied, you are wondering if it's to the front or to the back.
In this situation, there's no tying of hands.
Okay.
We just have to be deliberate and intentional about it. I mean, the solution is here. Let us take it. Nnamdi Kanu came up and made a suggestion. What are you doing with it?
But if, in obedience to what the army chief is saying, Simon Ekpa is turned loose, something will give.
It is because, you see, if it is because Nnamdi is not free yet, once the boss comes out, you just said it, Arrowhead is the one. Once he is out, the people will listen to him. And then with the collaboration of all of the governors and all hands on deck.
So many people will be involved in
all hands on deck, there will be solution. Have you forgotten what happened in the Northeast? Eventually.
Right. Gentlemen, I hear we must begin to wrap, but not before thanking both of you. Ibinabo Dixon, many thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure.
Emeka Madunagu,
thank you very much.
We'll see you again.
Thank you very much, yes.
Okay, that will just about do it for the show today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You may watch a repeat broadcast of this episode tonight if you missed any part of it at 11, and then on Sunday from between 1:30 and 3:30, a 2-hour stint, we expand the fare for you. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.
You are cordially invited to the 3rd Annual Choir Festival with the theme, Messiah My Father. The Choir Festival will feature the winner of the 2023 edition, New Wine Ensemble, the host choir, Tabernacle Choir, other competing choirs, and several observant choirs. Star prize, 3 million naira. Second prize, 1.5 million naira. Third prize, 1 million naira. 10 observant choirs get 250,000 naira each, totaling 10 million naira, plus other consolation prizes and winners in other categories. Date is Sunday, 16th June 2024. Time 12 noon prompt. Venue Abraham Tabernacle or Irinwale Road, GRA Shagamu, Ogun State. Chief host His Excellency Otumba Engineer Benga Daniel, FNSC FAENG, the Ashiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches.
He is super funny. He is naturally witty. He is Funny Bo. Lagos, brace up for the comedy show of the year. Funny Bo Live, Aina's son. Featuring Gordons, Dandy Humorous, Larry J, Real Worry Pickin, Busy Mouth, Monica, Obi Godwin, Phronesis, and many more. Music by A-list Nigerian artists. Date is Sunday, June 16th, 2024. Time 6 p.m. Venue Eco Hotels and Suites, Lagos. Tickets regular 7K, VIP 30K, Gold table 2 million naira, Premium table 3 million naira. Get your tickets online at RiaTickets.com and AfriTickets.event. For table reservations, please call 0812-728-6773. Funny Bone Live is supported by Optiva Capital Partners, Danomil, Goldberg Black, Legend Twist, Maltina, Feyruz, Samsung, Media Partner, TVC.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where and how to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill. The compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1-horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable traction belt, large LCD multifunctional display that displays speed, time, distance, calories, and has 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.
The SportX treadmill has really helped me get back in shape after childbirth. I love it because it's compact and can fit anywhere in the house. And when I'm done, I fold and put it away. Easy peasy.
This is the best piece of equipment for people like me who want to stay active without leaving the home. I simply unfold it and use it while I watch my favorite program on TV.
Joining a gym can cost an absolute fortune, and you could be paying up to 490,000 naira in annual gym fees. Get the SportX Compact Digital Treadmill to save the cost and work out of the convenience of your home. You would normally pay 500,000 naira for a treadmill like this. Call the number on your screen now and get the SportX Compact Digital Treadmill for not 450,000 naira, but for just 400,000 naira only. And that's not all. You can get the SportX Compact Digital Treadmill in 2 easy payments of 200,000 naira. That's right, pay twice and get this amazing fitness solution. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the SportX Compact Digital Treadmill delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria, and it comes with a ShopX 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied with the treadmill, send it back for a full refund. But hurry, limited stock available. Call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts.
The preceding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Good evening from Lagos, everyone. I am Nifemi Oguntoye, and this is Beyond 100 Days. It's the first anniversary of the 10th National Assembly. Our attention on the program today is on the House of Representatives. More than 1,500 bills considered, out of which 1,008 bills await second reading. 88 are before standing committees, 69 await consideration, while 10 bills have been consolidated. In this report, National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa takes a critical look at the activities of the House led by the Speaker, Abbas Tajuddin.
On the 13th of June, history was made when an unassuming, humble and three-time member, Abbas Tajuddin, was unanimously elected as the Speaker of the 10th House.
Hi, Abbas Tajuddin.
He took the oath of office along with his deputy, Benjamin Kalu, with a mission to make a remarkable impact in the lives of the people.
Honorable colleagues, our responsibilities as lawmakers require diligence, probity, transparency, dedication, and commitment to national interest.
The 10th National Assembly recorded the highest turnover of experienced lawmakers, as more than 70% of the 360 members of the House are first-timers. The leadership admitted it was a major challenge and set out on a capacity-building journey. Delta State lawmaker Francis Wahibe is the chairman committee on rules and business. He says the House is beginning to see the reward of the many training and retrainings of the last 12 months.
About 80% new members coming into Parliament. But it's been a very exciting time. Mr. Speaker, the Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, he took the bull by the horn. First, to deal with the issues of capacity, since we had lost a lot of experienced members. So there's been a lot of trainings, both as a House and at committee levels. And that is beginning to yield fruits.
He says in the last 1 year, the House has considered more than 1,500 bills. Out of these, 1,008 await second reading, 88 are before standing committees, 69 await consideration, while 10 bills have been consolidated. 679 motions have also been passed, majority of which deal with the nation's security challenges. The House unveiled an 8-point legislative agenda in November 2023. The working document speaks to priority areas representing the vision and mission of the House, with a target to align with the renewed hope agenda of the executive.
I've just told you why.
Ezenwa Nwago is the chairman Partners for Electoral Reform and a public affairs analyst. He shares with me his perception of the 10th National Assembly.
Really happy that the adversarial disposition that a lot of people think about the National Assembly, I mean the legislature, in terms of its relationship with the executive, there seems to be more cooperation. There seems to be more principled cooperation, in my view, than what it used to be. And I qualify it as principled because we are not seeing all those unnecessary struggle for, territory.
Beyond these, Controversies have trailed some of its oversight functions. The latest is when some members of the Haddock Committee, which investigated alleged job racketeering in government agencies, were accused of corruption. Allegations of graft were also leveled against some members by Binance, though the leadership of the House rose stoutly in defense of its members. These parliamentary reporters also give their assessment of the performance of the 10th House and the challenges ahead.
Any seconder?
I can say compared to the other assemblies that I've covered, this 10th assembly so far, I've seen their effort. You understand? Unlike in the past whereby you see that new lawmakers are not prone to moving motions and bills.
But I'm not really satisfied with their attendance to plenary. If you